All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Limitless MD. I'm your host, Vikram Raya, and today I'm really excited to share with you a super powerful technique that will help you enroll more patients, more clients, more investors, more anybody into whatever offering or service you have. Are you guys ready? Buckle up. What if you could reclaim hours of free time each week, create legacy building wealth, and devote more energy to your passion projects without giving up on your career as a life-saving MD? My name is Vikram Raya, functional cardiologist, high performance coach, and real estate expert. And I'm here to give you the tools, strategies, and solutions you need to transform your life so you can unlock your limitless potential and achieve greatness, all the while freeing up your precious time. Welcome to Limitless MD. Let's dive in. This is something I adapted from one of the best mentors that I have there. He's sort of a virtual mentor. His name's Alex Hormozi, super phenomenal guy. And he has something called a closer framework, but I've adapted it to sort of meet, the sort of the doctor framework, and we can take it from here. So who is this for? This is for anybody who wants to raise capital from investors for real estate or whatever other projects you're trying to do. This is also for anyone who wants to enroll patients into any kind of offering a service, plastic surgeons, for example, into something. If you're selling services, legal services, accounting services, CPA services, all that. If you want to raise money for a nonprofit, if you want to attract coaching clients, if you want to get on, if you have an online program, you want a membership, you want to get people involved, this framework works. All right, so let's get into it so we don't waste time here. One of the things we want to make note is simplicity scales. So the more simple it is, and the more you understand this, the more you can do this. And so if you are making less than $100,000 a month, you can just use this for yourself and you can just scale very quickly. If you're making more than $100,000, then you want to start eventually teaching your team to do this, right? So essentially, are you $1 million player? Great, you need a sales team. If you're less than $1 million a year, then you can do this on your own, and you need to perfect this and master this, right? This is derived from things from Robert Cialdini, Persuasion, and he has another book called Persuasion. This is taken from a lot of the the best sales strategies out there. You involve scarcity, involve getting clarity on why they're here. It's essentially figuring out the top reasons why someone doesn't move forward on a decision. All of that stuff is sort of encapsulated into this very clean and very simple framework, and it's called closer. So what does closer stand for? Closer stands for C, which stands for clarify why the person is on the phone with you. What's the problem? What made them come? So the question is like, what made you come in today? What made you reach out? What's your goal right now? Why is that important to you? So before you do the closer, what I would do is I'll throw in like a couple of sentences about rapport. So what is rapport? Rapport is essentially getting connection, commonality, and being on the same wavelength as the person coming in. Hey, Jim, thanks for calling. What part of the country are you calling from? Hey, you're from Detroit. Hey, I'm from Detroit. Yeah, that's great. Are you a Lions fan? Great. Or, hey, Jim, you have, sounds like you have kids in the background. How old are your kids? Oh, 3 and 5. Oh, great. Mine are 4 and 6. Yeah, they love watching that Blippy thing, So you're creating commonality very quickly. Next, you move into, look, if they're calling you, if they're reaching out to you, if they've showed up in your clinic or your store, wherever you have, they obviously have a problem. And it's no one just reaches out, does discovery calls, strategy calls. No one does consultations. No one does these things unless there's really an issue. No one attends webinars unless they're looking for something, right? If their life is totally great, they wouldn't be coming to you. So that's your unfair advantage. So if there's an issue, you don't want to beat around the bush. You want to just come on and say, hey, great. What made you come in today? Hey, what made you reach out? Hey, what are you looking for? What's your goal right now? And then these are surface level questions, and you go deeper. Hey, why is that important to you? And then the truth really comes out. Hey, yeah, like someone's complaining about, yeah, I want to do this on my own, but I just don't have the time. And they keep on talking about time. And then you're like, why is having more time important to you, Paul? Well, you know, my wife has cancer, or my wife has some illness, and I don't know if I don't have the time to do all of this on my own, and I really want to just devote my time to her. So I'm okay with sort of outsourcing a lot of this stuff, right? Or I want to learn this very quickly. Or, hey, you know what? I'm running around with my kids and they're like in high school right now, and I know they're going to leave the house soon. And I don't have that much. I only have a couple of Christmases left with them. So it's really important for me to spend a lot of quality time with my kids right now. All right, great. I get it. Now I understand why creating more time is super important for you, right? I connect with that person. Next, so that's the C. Next is L, label the problem. So, so what you're saying is, recap what they said, right? So it sounds like you want to 2x your revenue in 12 months, right? Does that sound about right? Right. If you're able to relay to the person in such a comprehensive, holistic, encapsulating way what their pain points are, why that's important to them, and why that's frustrating, they will automatically assume you have the solution. It's just it's sort of the mirror neurons. It's human nature. So if you can label it and describe it and understand their problem in a succinct, beautiful way, in a deeper way, in a language that really resonates with them, they think you own it. So next is O, overview their past pain and what have they done in the past to get over the pain. Similar to a doctor, you want to have a doctor frame, right? You're all most of you guys listening to this are doctors. Congratulations. Now you got to actually have a doctor frame. So imagine, you're an auto mechanic and someone comes in with their brand new Mercedes and it's making weird noises. And you're like, oh, before they even get into it all, you're like, oh, okay, let's fix the carburetor, let's fix the engine, hey, you didn't even ask me what's the problem, or what are this, what are the sounds, how long it's going on. So, or a person with like, GI bleeding comes in and you're like, all right, well, I know that the problem is it's because, you're eating too much jalapenos. We just need to stop jalapenos. That may not be the reason why they're having GI bleed, right? So as a doctor tries to understand by asking a lot of questions, takes a really good history in this stage, which is overview their past pain, you want to understand everything. Like, hey, how long is this happening? What have you tried in the past to improve it? What has worked? What has not? What else have you tried? What is this costing you? Like, what is the problem? Like, why is this? Why do you want to take care of this right now? And you just really get into it a little bit more. And you're not offering any solutions. You're not offering any, strategies. You're just understanding. Remember this quote: seek to understand before you're hoping to be understood, right? Always try to understand first. And so you go through all their pain points and you try to cycle through it as many times as you can, because this is ammunition for how you're going to help solve the problem later. And you also don't want to make them feel bad, right? Hey, I understand it's not your fault. Hey, look, this comes coming for obesity issues. Like, so you tried Weight Watchers, you tried Jenny Craig, you tried the gastric band, and none of it worked, right? And how long you been struggling with weight for? You're 50 pounds overweight, and you've been struggling for how many years? Almost 5 years now. Great, or not great, but oh man, that sucks. I totally understand where you're coming from. And what's the real concern, man? Like, what are you really worried about? You know what, doc? I'm really worried about if I don't handle this, I'm gonna get diabetes, and my father died of diabetes. And I don't want that to happen. Okay, I get it, man. And so, look, it's not your fault. The strategy you've tried may not have been the right ones for you, or that you maybe didn't have the support or the accountability or whatever. And we're gonna help you with that. You didn't say how or what the details. You just said, look, I got you. Next, it's called S, sell them the vacation. So what have we gone over right now? C is clarify why the person is on the phone with you and what's the problem, or in person even. L, label the problem. O, overview their past pain. What have they done in the past to get over this pain? Right? S is now you're going to sell them the vacation, right? Not the plane ride. So what does that mean? So whatever your solution, product, service, or thing you're trying to offer the world, it's you can make it similar to like, hey, everyone wants to go to Maui. Great. You can go to Maui, in a boat, in a rowboat. You can go in a cruise ship. You can go to Maui in a commercial plane. You can go to Maui in a Lear jet, with champagne on by your side. So there's many ways to get there. So everyone wants to get to Maui. So you don't need to tell them all the different ways. You just need to say, hey, we're going to get you to Maui. We're going to get you to your destination, to your. So you can just tell them in general how you've helped people get to their destination, and the effects of getting there, like, the benefits of getting there. Sell the benefits, not the details, right? And then you can talk about some stories, some testimonials, some experiences. You can also show why you're different than other people, some distinguishing characteristics. But really, you're just saying, hey, we're going to get you to Maui. Then we can talk about, sort of the details of how you can, hey, there's three ways we can get you to Maui. There's option A, option B, option C. Which one makes more sense for you? And I would never do, hey, do you want to do the program or not? Or do you want to work with me or not? Hey, do you want to get the plastic surgery or not? It's always, hey, does option A make more sense or option B? And you can even say, hey, in my personal opinion, I think this one makes much more sense because this is what you're telling me you need, and this is exactly what this offering solves, or offering helps with. Okay. So then obviously in some cases they're going to have some concerns, and so the E is explain away their concerns. So price, right? Then the decision maker, then they stall, right? There's three main objections. So the price, you want to really show them, hey, the value, right? It's no one questions the price of a Ferrari because they know the value. They know that it's an exquisite Italian automobile, and there's very few of them out there, and they actually go up in value, right? So if a coaching program costs $10,000, right, it's a lot of people can afford that, and especially if there's payment options, they can figure out a way to make that happen if they see the value. So the only reason many people don't move forward is they don't think that's worth $10,000, right? And so for you, it's like, you know what, the value, like let's say you want to become a CMO of a hospital, right? That can essentially double your earnings, triple your earnings over time. It'll create you into hospital leadership, and eventually you may be a CEO of a hospital. What's the value of that? Would someone be willing to pay $50,000 of coaching for that? Absolutely, right? Because they can see how the lifetime value of that will really transform their whole life. So next is decision maker, right? This is where, hey, I need to run it by my wife. I need to run it by my husband. Hey, I need to talk to my business partner. And then what you can do is say, why would your spouse be opposed to you fixing the problem that they already don't approve of you having that problem, right? Or you can circumvent and say, hey, look, why don't we just move forward on it, and we can ask them, what they think about it later. Or, you can always joke and say, hey, let's don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness, right? And you can smile and joke at them. But there's always a way to, eventually get around that thing, because that's just a stall technique in many cases, right? If the person absolutely want to do it, they'll say, you know what, I want to do it. Let's move forward, and I'll figure out a way to, get my partner on board, right? And then finally, the stall. Stall is like, hey, I don't have the funds on me. Hey, can we break it up? Or, let's wait till January and then we'll do it. Or, what, I'm just going through another program right now. Let me finish that up and then I'll get back to you. Right? These are all stalling techniques. And then you just want to help them make a decision. Say, hey, look, do you think our company makes sense to work with us? Great. Do you think this is the right product for you? Do you think this could achieve your goals? Yes. Great. Do you know who has, I mean, if you don't have the funding, do you know someone who does? Would they be able to fund you if you think this was a valuable investment? Absolutely. All right, let's go then. Let's move forward. Right. So it's like helping them move forward, asking what the main concern is. Hey, what's the real concern? I know you're saying it's money, but, or I know you're concerned about the decision right now, but do you not think it's going to work for you? Is that what it is? Right. And when you get to the bottom of that, that really does help them, and your goal is, a lot of people avoid making decisions. That's probably one of the reasons why they're not successful in life, right? The lack of being decisive is a characteristic of mediocrity. And so you helping them make a decision. And even if it's not the right decision, hey, look, you know what, I don't think this is the right thing for me. Great. Well, I'm glad we came to a decision. And if you do change your mind, let me know. I'm going to send you some free information resources. There's also a couple other people that, if we're not the right fit for you, here's 3 other people who may be. And I'm going to, I'm going to send you an email and do a warm introduction for you. Okay. And just use me as a resource in the future. That's a strong close, even though you didn't move forward with them. Right. And it's very powerful. And then finally, R is reinforce their decision. And then the thing is, you have to resell them throughout the process. And I'll tell you what that means. So, hey, John, congratulations on moving forward and joining our mastermind group. You know, many people, 3/4 of our mastermind members end up achieving, a 30% return on their money. Or, you know what, this is an intelligent decision, and here's why. Because the way the market is right now, the stocks are really volatile. Crypto's collapsing right now, and keeping in cash doesn't make sense. And so you made the smart decision to invest in multifamily. Because you did that, I really think your money's going to grow. I think you're going to get the tax benefits and obviously the appreciation. So congratulations. Here's what's going to happen next. Boom. My team is going to send you a personal voice memo. Number two, you're going to get onboarding documents, and you just have to sign them. And number three, look out in your mail, because you're going to get an investor gift from us, right? And I'm really excited to get you on our private investor network. Great. So you want to sell them consistently, meaning there should be an onboarding process. You should tell them what to expect, the first call, the first email, any kind of process going on, right? And if you're the salesperson, you're the person trying to enroll someone, the main things that need to come out of your mouth are questions, restatements, and powerful supportive stories. Either, stories about customers, clients, journey, or metaphors that can help them understand what's going on. Okay. And if all else fails, you can use something called the conviction framework. So there are some people who can outperform, experienced closers, right? And these people are people who are sort of die hard. They've drank the Kool-Aid, and they're like raving fanatics of your product or service, right? And so remember this: words are only 10% of what people hear. The tone is 90%. So if you have conviction in your tone, you believe what you say, and you're all in, eventually you'll wear the person down. The person is going to be like, man, you are so certain. I'm going to go with you. Remember, when two people meet, the stronger frame usually absorbs the weaker frame. And so if you are so into what you believe, and you understand that your product does work and your service does help people, and you really think that this will take people to the next level, then just show that, and I would say get out of your brain and drop into your heart and speak with conviction, with authority. And another way is, if you get testimonials or you get good reviews, put those all over your desk, create a binder of them, and just read them, look at them again, and just imagine all the people you've already helped, because they had the courage to move forward in your program. And that will also help you, right? And one of the buzzwords that Alex talks about is outworking your self-doubt. Just keep taking action. And then, you know what? When you're first starting out, what I tell all my coaching clients is this: assume a 10% success rate. So what that means is, if you want to sign up 10 people in your program, you need to speak to 100. And if you have that in mind, then you're like, okay, for every 9 no's, I get 1 yes. Okay, let me get the no's. Let me get them out of the way, right? And so there's no stress, no pressure. Over time, your success close rate will actually go to 50, 70, 80, 100% even. But when you're starting out, you're sort of learning yourself. That's what it is. And the key is to be authentic. People can hear the BS. So don't make this scripted, right? Practice, but try to speak, with authority, with authenticity, with adoration of the client or the person, and servant. Just realize that, look, you don't need them. You want to help them, but again, they have to be involved in their own rescue, right? If someone's drowning in the ocean and you're trying to pull them out into your boat, and they're trying to pull you in, they may not want to be helped. So that's okay. Okay, guys. And in terms of schedule and training, if you really want to get good at this, 60 minutes a day, 5 days a week is what the best of the best in the world do. And it's, maybe speaking the script out loud for 25 minutes, working on obstacles or why people say no, listening to your recording. So you should be recording your calls, right? What went right, what went wrong, what are you going to do next time? And that's how you do it. Okay, guys, I hope this helps. And I hope you get to enroll all the people you want in the world into whatever service, offering, or program you have, and keep helping people, keep elevating, and again, keep being phenomenal. We'll talk next time. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Limitless MD. If you found value from this episode, I encourage you to share this episode with a friend and let me know by leaving a review. For more information, make sure you check out the links in the show notes below or simply visit vikramraya.com. So until next time, my friends, be phenomenal.